Okay, advice for incoming FIENs. I would advise you to read a lot of, if you're a programmer anyway, read a lot of technical books, like, maybe get a copy of Effective C++ or get a design patterns book, or, even read through a C++ primer, just so you can expose yourself to kind of what the languages have to offer. And then so you can have more of a mastery when you get here, because the better you are at the language you get here, you can perform better at the task instead of trying to understand the language. I've known I wanted to be a programmer since high school. I actually started out trying to do computer graphics, and then when I got to high school, I went to a vocational high school that allowed different kinds of, I guess, tracks. You could think of them as the same way, different tracks. And I started off in graphics, but then I had a rotation in IT, and we did programming there. So once I tried it, I really liked it, so I decided it was for me. So. The reason I picked games as a career is because it's pretty much I like computer science and I like programming, but it's pretty much the only thing I could imagine myself doing for, I don't know, something like 30 years or 40 years and not being bored. It's tough to get into software engineering and not end up doing something like Microsoft Word, which make a word processor. It's not exactly the funnest thing in the world, but creating a game where after you're done, you can show somebody the product and be like, this is what I helped create, and then you can go and play it and actually have some fun with it later on. It just is more interesting to me. Even here at FIEA, like all the stuff we do here, none of it ever feels boring. It all feels very refreshing and unique and new. So that's fun. Of all the programs, it seemed honestly the most legit. There are people here who've actually been in the industry. There are people here who know what it's like to be in the industry. It's a master's degree, so it's like I can continue the education that I already have. And the fact that the program is designed to simulate kind of like a real studio is a plus, because not only do I get the education, but I also get the feel of what it's like to be in a real studio. So it's not like I'll be going into my first job, completely green, not knowing at all what it's like. I'll have at least a small idea, if not more, of what it's going to really be like. So that helped, Currently, I'm working on two things right now. One is Eclipse, which is team-based. It's a multiplayer team-based combat game that's based around stealth, and basically all my capstone work, which is our major game project, it deals with the Eclipse stuff. So I'm on the stealth task force, so we deal with pretty much anything relating to the characters and how they stealth around the environment. And then on the other hand, there's just my straight programming work. That's just stuff that I want to work on as a programmer, and each programmer takes on a personal programming project. So my personal programming project has to deal with real-time cameras, and I'm trying to develop a system that you can use splines to path out camera paths, I guess, and you can use that to do like cinematographic sequences. So instead of having to do pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff, you can just use that system to showcase story beats and stuff with your in-game assets. My biggest challenge here is probably a mix between time management and just overall stress, just because there's a lot to get done all the time, and all that stuff to get done can kind of weigh on you. I'm a pretty laid-back person, so it's hard to get me riled up about anything. So I think I handle the stress pretty well, but every now and then, it kind of gets the better of you. So you kind of got to be able to take time away from whatever you're doing and just go see a movie or watch some TV. Even watching TV is like a big deal because we spend so much time working here. So to be able to just relax and watch a television program or, play a game. I haven't played a game in a while, so just to sit back and play a game is a big deal. So I guess you kind of have to be able to step back and kind of relieve the stress, do the things that you like to do. You can't forget about that part of your life, because if you do, it will show, you know. Just the mental fatigue will eventually catch up with you, and, you know, then you're no good. So. Before I got here, I wish somebody would have told me not to buy an airbed. I bought an airbed. This is a horror story. This is a FIEA horror story. I bought an airbed, and I had that airbed for about a month into starting FIEA. So I was maybe September, and this was right at the end of an RPP round, where, you know, I'm dead dog tired, and I'd stay up the whole night to finish the game, and then we presented the game, and the night before, the little bit of sleep I got was on the floor because my air mattress had deflated. I left home that day and the air mattress was full, came home and it was totally deflated and I couldn't sleep on it, so I had to sleep on the floor for 4 hours. That's the only sleep I got. Then I went in, presented the game, then I had to go to IKEA to buy a new bed and take it home, put it together before I could get any sleep. So don't buy an air bed, get a real bed and enjoy it from day one. For me specifically, it's probably been the Programming 2 class. Well, programming class in general, but definitely the Programming 2 class, because it's so intensive that you pretty much figure out whether or not you're going to be able to handle the kind of workload that you'll probably have in the industry. The work is so intense, and it comes at you so fast. There's so many assignments to do that you kind of figure out what you're made of. And then at the same time, you learn a whole bunch. Like, that class is filled with so much information that by the end of it, you're just like, you go from here to here. I don't anticipate it being too hard, simply because a guy I sit with, Andrew Masseri, one of his projects for our RPP class was to do a survey of FIEA graduates and see pretty much how they adjusted to, you know, different studios. And one of the questions he asked was, you know, how did FIEA prepare you for the industry? And pretty much a majority of the people answered that FIEA really prepared them very well. So having been exposed to that feedback from other people in different cohorts, I kind of feel confident that when I leave out of here, I should be adequately prepared.